The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.
Apologies to our podcasters. Today's version of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast, because of technical difficulties, had to be heavily edited.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Well, it's moving day, gang, and I'm sweating like a whore in church, fresh off of turning a trick inside the confessional.
Why did we wait till the day we moved to start packing?
All right, that's the last of it.
I hope we didn't leave anything behind.
Moving kind of sucks.
Let us begin.
It's showtime.
I saw a very funny joke over the weekend that popped up on social media on Saturday, which was, of course, 420. Here's the joke. I don't always roll a joint, but when I do, it's usually my ankle. Today's the day to be listening up, to get that keyword to text in, to enter for your shot to win free grass. And when I say grass, I mean up to 2,000 square feet of sod. So during our program this morning, and then again at 10 a.m. and again at 3 p.m., we'll give you a shot at this. You could be selected if you text in that keyword when prompted. You could be selected to compete Friday on our show to win up to, as I said, 2,000 square feet of sod plus delivery and installation. And that prize is provided by A&L Sod. We got a lot of text messages on that.
I know exactly why you pronounced it that way.
Yes, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, I had to explain that to you.
I didn't get it. Can I tell the joke again?
Yeah.
You don't think they'll mind over there? A&L Sod. That's how I was saying it on Friday. Today,
A&L Sod.
A&L Sod.
Yeah, A&L Sod.
Today I'm going to say A&L Sod. Because I up and down Friday, I kept getting text messages saying,
Those are
anal sod?
Did you say anal sod?
Did you say anal sod? And I had to, off air, I asked Josh, I said, why is everyone asking me about anal sod? And he said, well, A&L.
Yeah. When you say A&L.
Never dawned on me.
Fast enough. I want to ask if we're allowed to say the prize value, because it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we can say thousands. People probably know it's worth that, but thousands. This is such a cool prize.
Absolutely. Thank you to the folks at A&L Sod. So be listening.
I'm really looking forward to the eventual future where the morning show or the radio station, we're going to have our own THC seltzer or something like that. Hearing the show, have to promote it. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, we might as well, right?
Oh, I think it's coming.
Yep.
I think they're working on the
Are they really?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
I know it's coming. At least the effort is there.
That's cool.
Well, there you go. I mean, why not? Everyone else on planet Earth is just doing backflips in the streets over all things marijuana. Why wouldn't we get on board?
Yeah, the 93X gummies.
Oh, are they talking gummies too? or you
No,
just
that'd
wanna-
be sweet.
I heard seltzer.
Whatever. You guys can do the ads.
All right, I'm in.
I'll do Snap Construction.
Everybody snap.
Everyone snapped. That was cool.
You guys go ahead with that.
Snap.
Well, what a hell of a deal. Started off like kind of a disaster, which we all, I think, anticipated. Broadcasting from this new location. Everyone's got a new board in front of them, a new mic in front of them, a new chair, a new desk, This is all new to us. Started off with a little bit of a catastrophe, but I think we rebounded well enough.
Yeah, I think we've worked out the kinks. I mean, the streaming, again, they're working on that, so apologies to anybody who has been affected by that. I know that's frustrating.
I feel fairly comfortable already.
Yeah, me too.
Of course you feel comfortable. You're broadcasting from home.
I'm not at home. You guys can't see me?
No, where are you?
This is making me nuts.
But you deserved it. You deserve the opportunity to broadcast from home. I'm glad you're at home.
Someday. Wapple and I are the only people that haven't broadcasted from home.
Yes. I don't think I'll ever be able to.
It's awesome. Let me tell you something. I did it a few days, and it's awesome.
I remember
the technology sucked, but it was awesome
Oh,
to
you
be.
could have like a blanket wrapped around you. At
I
all
mean,
times.
I let the dog out. I took a whiz in my own toilet. It was a beautiful thing broadcasting from home.
I'd miss the drive-in. I like driving in. Driving home, I wish I could just teleport home, but driving in, I enjoy it. Nobody's on the road. I just kick back and get real drunk.
Listen to a book on your podcast.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Here's the
to
deal.
A book on my podcast.
Book on the podcast.
Yep, book on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to get her done. We're going to try to keep it going. So far, so good. Take a break. Come back here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
Kevin Millar, we're all paying rent in Ohtani's world, right?
And the Dodgers world, game is healthy, game is good. And, I get asked a lot, is that good for baseball? Yeah, it's good for baseball. This is definitely the team to beat because that should be your next question, Richie, is this World Series a bust for the Dodgers and Dave Roberts?
Hell yeah. Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
So our stream is working.
It appears that way.
Our internet stream is working.
Yep.
That's the word on the street.
All good.
Our stream is not working.
No, it's working. And I'm
so
here
our internet
in studio.
Stream, it's not working?
It is working.
It's working?
It is working, yes.
Mother?
Let me ask you about your ears. Are your ears working?
Are you my mother? No, Ruprecht. I am not your mother.
Not
what movie?
Mother.
It's called Dirty, Rotten...
Filthy, Stinking Rich.
Scoundrels. Mother? No, Ruprecht, that is not your mother. All right, here we are from our new location, the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Just getting warmed up and accustomed to everything. I do have a full-on stupid news report here for you. Streaming is not working.
No, it's working.
Here's a text message before we get to the stupid news. It's a bad news, good news kind of a thing. We were talking earlier about Ashley. She sends porn to us via email.
Yep.
When she's at home. In her free time, she sends us porn. And over the weekend, she sent us video from a NASCAR race where girls were getting their tops off and twerking. It was a crazy scene at the NASCAR race. Appreciate that, Ashley. We don't feel comfortable sending those links off to people. They're putting it on our website, right, Josh?
Yeah, we can't do that, but we can say how to find it, I believe. Isn't that the rule, Ashley?
Yeah, I think earlier on we said, yeah, go ahead. Just maybe type in topless girls at the NASCAR race, whatever, if you're that interested in watching the video. Got a text message that says, I'm still looking for those NASCAR boobs. No luck so far, but I am getting distracted by other links. That's nice.
A lot of good stuff out there, isn't there?
There is. What a hell of a deal. All right. Stupid news. I'll tell you right here from the get-go. I'll tell you. If you thought you were horny, I'm going to tell you about what horny is right here. I'm going to tell you about horny. A couple of nights ago, my God, a gal down there in the state of Louisiana forced her way, and believe me, she's got the build to do it, forced her way into her neighbor's apartment to try and initiate a threesome with a dude and his girlfriend.
Man, I've never been loved or wanted that much. maybe that's a good thing, but just once.
You haven't made yourself available enough.
I don't know. There was a time I slutted it up, and just once I would have loved for that to happen.
I mean, she forced her way into her neighbor's apartment. She kicks in the door and more or less says, I'm here for the penis and the vagina, and I'm not leaving till I get some of both. The dude who lives in that apartment says he got a knock at his door the other night, and a, quote, unknown neighbor forced her way right into the apartment. Doesn't even know her. It's not as if he could say, oh, that's, Jenny from down the hallway. Unknown neighbor. Ba-boom, ba-boom. She wants in. And as soon as she set foot in the place, this complete stranger started trying to have sex with him and his girlfriend.
Just here for the sex. Or I'm here for the gangbang.
Are there two people in here that I can have a threesome with? Perfect.
Nick, you saw her. Obviously, you mentioned she's thick. THICC.
Oh, my damn.
I would.
Oh, hell yes. Yeah. Of course you would.
Definitely.
Anybody in their right effing mind would.
You'd have to. I mean, it'd be rude not to, actually.
Rude not to.
She went through all that effort.
But this couple had to call the cops on this lady, or a damn threesome was going to cut loose on them. They didn't want it. The big horny lady, she left. And the cops found her at the neighborhood gas station hanging around.
Was she also looking for a threesome there, perhaps?
They didn't mention that. Maybe she was just there to get a energy drink. I don't know what the hell.
That reminds me, the gas station. Remember the guy we used to work with who claimed he just went in to get a pack of smokes at the gas station? Came out and some girl wanted him so bad that he made love to her right on the hood of his car in front of everybody at the gas station.
Right.
And then we asked him some details.
Right.
And it's weird, if you do something like that, you're going to forget some of the details. You're never going to remember everything.
Of course not.
Why would you? It's such a common occurrence for people to meet a complete stranger and have sex with them on top of their vehicle right after they meet. In front of
dozens of people.
Right in front of Supermom. She's right there.
Yeah, there was something about this guy where he had these wild sexual tales, but details? No, I don't remember.
There was another good one where, somebody had a threesome in a movie theater. I might have done that.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean might have done that?
Yeah, I did that.
I remember that.
I think I might have done that.
Oh, you might have done. Well, what movie were you there? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember when that was.
Right. Okay.
Threesomes are such a common occurrence for me that I sometimes forget when and where they happen.
There are some sexual experiences in my life where I could tell you the dew point.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to know the barometric pressure, time of day, what was on TV,
the real
who was
keepers,
president? Yeah.
The real sexual adventures, you remember every damn thing. But this dude would spin these wild tales. He asked him for details. He didn't remember anything about it. All right, so a horny lady kicking in the door demanding a threesome. She goes by the name of Shadana Hurd. Shadana. She's 31 years old. Shadana was arrested and charged with unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, disturbing the peace, criminal damage, resisting an officer, and being my dream woman.
Sometimes you just got to ask. That's it. If she would have asked, they might have said yes. She made it awkward.
Right. Yep. But I can't say I've ever heard of something like that before. Knock on the door. The lady forces her way in and basically says, let's go. I'm banging the both of you right now.
Right. It wasn't just one. She wanted everybody involved.
Wanted the guy and the girl. All right, next up. I believe we've got ourselves an all-timer. Well, at least when it comes to straight-up bizarre nonsense. Just absolutely bizarre nonsense. And this is one where it is difficult to believe that this is real life. But this apparently really happened in a place called Ghana. Ghana, I said. So two guys are walking down the street. One dude is named Adra. The other goes by Adukor. Audra and Adukor. They're walking down the street. Along the way, the two of them crossed paths with a fella named Abubakar.
Kind of like that. I'd
do?
like that as a nickname.
Abubakar.
Abubakar.
University, I want to say, of Georgetown. Many years ago, they had a basketball player. Someone looked this guy up. His name was Abubakar Ow.
Abubakar Ow.
I think I got that right. I think he played for Georgetown, and I think his name was Abubakar Ow. Anyway, get back to the story, because it isn't all time. What did I say? Audra and Adukor walking down the street in Ghana. Along the way, they crossed paths with a fella called Abubakar. Now, according to Audra and Adukor, when Abubakar shook their hands to greet them, Abubakar's handshake caused Audra and Adukor's penises to shrink. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of some people where if they touched me, mine would crawl back up. He's so repulsed.
Yeah? Audra and Adukor shake hands with Abubakar. And according to Audra and Adukor, when they shook the man's hand, the handshake caused their penises to shrink. So Audra and Adukor called the cops. Hello, police. Come quick.
I've got a small penis.
Yes. A dude just shook our hands and made our dongs back up. Get over here. Now, I don't have a clue how in the hell anyone comes up with a story like that, let alone two people coming up with a story like that, nor do I understand how something so effing ridiculous ended up in court. But it did. Man, Ghana sounds crazy.
Yeah, things might be a little different.
Ghana sounds crazy. In court, a judge ruled that Audra and Adukor were making the penis shrink handshake story up out of nowheres. And they were fined for making stuff up. Now, somebody tell me just what the F is going on with this?
I don't know. They're trying to extort this guy? I'm not sure. But I'd go the other way. He made it uncomfortably large. This is way too big. Wouldn't you want that to be the rumor?
Get my name in the paper.
Yeah, exactly.
He made my penis uncomfortably large. There you go. I don't think I was overhyping this as an all-time story when it comes to just bizarre nonsense.
I'm always fascinated with the behind story. For example, how do you come up with something like that? And then how do you convince another guy to go along with it?
And how in God's name does it end up in court with a judge and lawyers and whatnot?
Wouldn't you for a split second, if you're the guy that's accused of it, wonder, do I have that? How do I channel this? What else can I do?
That's just...
I have the ability to make Dana's penis bigger.
Can you?
Just depending on what I wear.
Yeah, when you show those calves off, Josh, there's no denying it.
I've caught you staring. My eyes are up here, douchebag.
I can't resist.
Did anyone look up Abubakar Owl for me?
Abubakar Owl. He went to Georgetown from 94 to 98.
God, I'm the best in the business, aren't I, Josh? Did you hear that?
I heard it.
94 to 98. All right. What do we got next here? Stupid news.
You know, real quick, if I could.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So we're in a brand new, well, not a new studio for us, an old studio. We're over here, and we're adjusting to things. There's a tech issue here and there. You know, it's a little stressful, and we feel bad for folks that are having an experience that they're not used to, right? They're used to it being bad, but maybe, having some tech issues. And I don't appreciate the text coming in about my mother and what my mom does to your penises. Not on a day like today. There's a little extra stress, a little extra pressure. I can't handle that. I'm not built for oh my God, you shrunk my penis. What do you do with these texts?
I like this text message. Why does everyone sound like you're in a garbage can? We are in a garbage can.
We've been over this.
Anyone who's been to our studios knows we are broadcasting from a garbage can. Hey, we don't know what the hell's going on any more than you do. We're not engineers.
We are not.
We're paid to sit here and tell dick jokes. I don't know. I don't know why it sounds like a garbage can or a tin can or inside somebody's ass. I don't know. But we're, like Josh said, we're working it out. Everybody friggin' settle down.
I kind of like it because I think we sound like stormtroopers a little bit.
Yeah, we kind of
Don't we?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Well, you do.
Perfect.
You do.
No, I think we all sound like stormtroopers.
I'm not cool enough to sound like a stormtrooper. You might be, though.
Or you could sound like a T-60 from Fallout.
I like that reference.
I don't know what the hell that means.
Oh, I'm 3 episodes deep in that thing.
It's very fun.
I'm enjoying it.
I think I'm starting to sound like Jesse Ventura a little. I mean, what's wrong with my microphone?
I don't hear it.
A minute ago, I was Nick, and now I sound like... Okay, so...
We got a voice changer in here now.
Oh, we're going to be getting a voice changer soon enough.
Stop texting. We know.
What do you mean my mom sounds like a stormtrooper? I just asked you to stop going after my mom.
Your mother does not sound like a stormtrooper. Not even close. A model type of a gal. That's what we're going for, right, fellas?
Yeah.
If you can get it, I've been there many, many times. Many times.
Sure.
What do you mean?
Yeah, that was rude, actually.
Yeah, I don't appreciate it.
Sorry, Josh.
He's got that hot.
be terminated.
He's got that hot Canadian girlfriend.
Oh, okay, so if we're all going to do robot-type stuff here, I'm going to go this route. Come with me or there will be trouble.
Oh, nice.
What movie?
RoboCop.
Dude, is that the best RoboCop imitation you've ever heard?
I think so.
What do you mean you think so?
I mean, I'd have to go back and listen to all of my favorites.
You sound like you're broadcasting from a garbage can. What's the problem
I'm
over there?
broadcasting from an ass.
That's what it sounds like. You're talking out of somebody's butt.
And right here's a text that says, while you're fixing the tech issues, we are not fixing the tech issues. Josh is not running around with a miner's cap on and 100 feet of cable on his shoulder. We are not fixing the tech issues.
He's just running around with his microphone telling jokes and throwing out cable lines.
A lot of them blame it on Wapple.
I know, it's not Waffle,
totally.
guys.
It's all my fault.
Yeah.
The guy puts his little greasy Muppet finger on a button now and again. He's not fixing the tech issues.
Nope. See, now this. There I go, and now I'm back.
Come with me or there will be trouble. All right, here we're back to this model now. A model in Thailand. She pissed everybody off over there, Cubby, for taking upskirt pictures at a special monument. And now when I say upskirt pictures, I mean she puts on a little skirt with her little underwears, and then a photographer takes some shots of her cooter.
Ooh, her cooter?
Yeah. That's what I mean by upskirt pics. Because a lot of, when you say upskirt, you picture some pervert at the mall, putting a cell phone.
Yep.
These are professional shots. She dresses up in a little skirt, little pair of underwears, and then a photographer takes. Apparently, they don't like that kind of thing in Thailand. You know what's weird to me is we read these stories about if you F off in Thailand, especially in a sexual way, they go crazy. But don't we always hear opposite stories, opposing stories of where if you want to have the wildest sexual time of your life, you go to Thailand?
Yeah, it seems like if you get in trouble, you're in some big, big trouble, from what I understand.
I mean, unless the stories are inaccurate, this doesn't make sense to me.
So you mentioned upskirt. You know what I enjoy? And I wonder if you guys feel the same.
Talk to me.
Underbutt. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where a butt hangs out.
Yes.
Yeah, like my wife wears these shorts around the house sometimes.
Sure.
And it just can't contain that badonkadonk. And
badonkadonk. I love it.
And I like it.
I like it a lot.
Hey, no one is... I'm not Ashley, right? Do I look like Ashley?
Not at all.
No.
So I'm not going to yuck your yum.
You're going to keep your eye on your own bobber.
Right. But as you know, Cubby, when it comes to a woman's bottom, I like the top side.
Oh, okay. So we could share one. If
Yes.
Wherever it's
Yes.
the apocalypse,
You
there's
take-
only one butt left.
I like what's happening on the top side. You got those dots.
What are the dimples?
Dimples.
Back dimples and a little butt crack. So we could you can come up from the bottom. I'll be on the top side, and we'll fix the tech issues, and we'll give this lady the thrill of a lifetime.
All right, you can also have the middle. I just like the underbutt.
Yeah, Josh, the shorts you're talking about, those are like, I'm going to get some shorts. I only wear those shorts around the house if I'm trying to bait my boyfriend. Hey, you see this?
Well, then maybe I should get some so the wife knows what I'm interested in.
That just gave me a great idea. Just, like you said, Josh.
Baiting her boyfriend.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Does he fall for it every time?
It works every time.
Let me get this straight, Cubby. You're giving me the top side and you're giving me the middle?
Yeah, you can have the middle.
I'm going to do some damage.
That's fine.
All right, so this gal, this model, she's in trouble. She's having a photographer take shots of her crotch at a royal monument of some sort. I'm sorry, I don't have specifics here. I've never been to Thailand. Her name is Pim. That's what her name is. She's 22. If it matters at all to you, she took these coot pics at a place called the King Rama statue. There's no beeve shots allowed around King Rama, apparently. After posting the pictures, the locals are angry. They called the police. She said she was just trying to get people to visit the city. It was a tourism ad in her mind.
Sure.
She says she's sorry, but the cops still hauled her in. They're charging her for some kind of anti-porno crime. The cops say her behavior, quote, affected the respect and beliefs of residents, causing great anger. And she's looking at prison time. Prison time.
Yeah, it's pretty strict, to say the least.
Yeah. Keep your panties under wraps in that neighborhood, I guess.
She looked kind of fake to me, to the point where I wonder if her pictures were altered.
She looked fake to me too, Cubby.
Yeah, she looked like an AI or something.
She looked very AI skis.
Darn,
Yeah.
that's the world we live in
Not
now.
like Allen Iverson, like artificial intelligence type of stuff.
Here, at least if you're going to complain about our sound this morning, about our tech issues, at least make it funny. Here's a listener who says, you guys sound like you're broadcasting from up the Statue of Liberty's skirt. I believe we're talking India here. A grade school principal got caught getting a facial while she was on the clock over there at the school. No, not that kind of facial. I'm talking about the type of facial that your wife gets, not your girlfriend.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, I do have an off button here. I can see if you can hear this. I'll hit my off button to see if you can hear it through Josh's mic.
No.
Good.
You guys couldn't hear that at all, could you? Say no.
Not at all.
So the gal by the name of Singh, Principal Singh, she was supposed to be working over there at the grade school doing whatever a principal does, and she's laid out getting a beauty shop type facial. But thankfully, this isn't the fun part of the story. A teacher at the school, a lady named Khan, she caught and confronted Principal Singh for effing off on the job. Khan even fired up her cell phone video recorder type of a thing to get it all on tape. When Principal Singh realized she was being recorded, she got so pissed off for being called out for effing off on the job, she jumped out of her chair, chased down the Khan lady. She beat her ass right there in the grade school hallway, and she bit her.
That's so weird.
Beating in the grade school hallway. Your principal's beating on one of your teachers, and the principal even bit the teacher.
I could get over a beating pretty quick, emotionally, I mean. You know, I could just deal with that. All right, I got my ass kicked. But if somebody bit me, I'd just be so confused.
And what's the principal so mad about? You're effing off on the job.
Yeah, you got busted.
She just mad she got busted. She bit the lady on the hand. You know, like grown folks do.
It looked bad. It looked really bad.
I think she had to have some of that surgery.
Oh.
Ouch.
What's it say here?
Shots,
yeah. The school's looking into this nightmare. They might have to kick the principal's ass out the door. Crazy hoe that she is.
Gamer Jesus has texted in and said he's getting maybe 30 seconds of us talking. Then it's the background music.
Yep.
And then he goes on to say, it's a pleasant change.
Yeah, it's very back and forth.
Yeah, some people are saying this is the best show we've ever done.
I'll show you some back. More insanity at the schoolhouse. This one's much closer to home, Indianapolis. A substitute elementary school. Oh, we're still in the elementary school. Okay, cool. A substitute elementary school teacher allegedly orchestrated and recorded young kids getting in Fight Club-style brawls inside the classroom. Now, let me ask you something. How do you think you would fare in 5th grade if you were put into a 5th grade fight club? Now, I gotta throw this your way. The movie Fight Club, never saw it. So you guys tell me, is there weight classes? Before I answer the question on how I think I would do in 5th grade against my classmates in a fight club, I need to know, is there weight classes?
No, they just kind of went for it.
Yeah, not that I know of.
Wasn't very sanctioned necessarily.
Didn't seem that way.
How do you guys think you do? I think if I'm matched up against, just by luck, since you guys told me there's no weight classes, if just by luck I'm matched up with other kids my size, I think I do very well, because when I was a kid, I had that psycho anger.
Yeah, I could have got it done because along those same lines, Nick, I was bullied in elementary school, so I had a lot of pent-up rage.
What were they bullying you for?
I was a little chubby.
What?
You were?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't deserve to be bullied. I mean,
I know.
I could pick out 5, 6 other things on you to bully you about.
I had that psycho level that I would go to as a grade school kid, where I'd probably do some biting, like Josh was just saying. He wouldn't want to be bit. It's one thing to get tuned up, another to be bit. So I think I would do okay.
I would have done fine just because I was the tallest kid in class in 5th grade. Everybody eventually caught up to me, but I was much larger and taller than everybody else in 5th grade.
Sure.
So I would have done it all right.
Josh, 5th grade fight club. Bring us back to your 5th grade.
5th grade?
Yeah, 5th grade fight club. It's you. You're on your own. How do you end up?
Oh, I do pretty well, I think. The reason being is the first thing I do is just say, hold on a second, I just got to make sure my pacemaker's working. And then I put some glasses on. I do everything I could for sympathy.
What do you mean you can't put glasses on? No one's going to hit a guy with glasses.
And then I'd say, oh, look at that cute little puppy. And then I'd hit him with the chair when they turned around.
Oh, my God.
And then I'd bite them. By the way, Dana, nice work talking about Fight Club. Way to go.
Yeah,
I broke rule number 1 and 2.
That's why I shut my mouth. Yeah.
Smart.
I wasn't saying nothing.
We did have a short-lived version of a fight club in my freshman year in the dorms at St. Cloud State. And it was kind of like some kid brought two pairs of boxing gloves up, and we'd go down in the basement, and it was kind of like you'd call somebody out, and the smallest guy in the dorm wanted to fight me. And I kind of laughed. I was like, oh, man, this okay. I mean, if you really want to, I guess. And the next thing I knew, we tapped gloves, and I was getting pulled up off the ground completely unconscious.
That's awesome.
Everybody was kind of laughing, and then the guy tells you, yeah, I've done taekwondo and jiu-jitsu since I was in 4th grade.
I think you got to bring that up ahead of time.
Yeah, I would like to have known that.
You got put to sleep, huh?
Uh-huh.
GTS.
Yep.
We did that same kind of thing in high school at this house we always partied at. And it got to the point where, there was a lot of blood.
Oh,
and
geez.
so I thought, you know what? I don't need to be drinking over here anymore. I don't want to be involved in the cops coming here because some guy, wrung his head off the floor.
What year did you graduate high school, Dana?
2004.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it was certainly after.
Yeah, it was right around that time when Fight Club was every kid in the dorm had a Fight Club poster on their dorm.
Oh, really? Because that movie came out, 99? And it was still that popular?
It was still very popular. It was kind of douchey.
Never saw. So anyway, we got this, not assistant teacher. What's the term again in the business?
Substitute.
Substitute teacher, elementary school. He was running an effing fight club with the 5th grade kids. And a lawsuit's been dumped on the teacher now. I guess he was setting it up as some form of punishment for kids that screwed up. They'd have to beat each other into oblivion. There's video out there, Summers. Anyone seen the videos?
Yeah.
The teacher is a dude named Julius Jonikin. I don't know if I've ever heard that last name before. Word is he organized it so the kids could slug the piss out of each other on multiple occasions. There was even a special needs kids in there somewheres. The mother of the special needs kid says that the teacher mistakenly revealed footage of the Fight Club on his phone to her during a conference, a parent-teacher conference. He accidentally hit the wrong button on his cell phone, and Mom got to see the video of her son being socked in the yap. So,
pretty terrible. Sometimes you wonder, how does anyone think that's a good idea at the time?
You got to be nuts.
I understand making some bad decisions, in the moment, but these types of decisions I don't think I'll ever get.
The lawsuit, she's suing everybody. This teacher, the school district, anybody and everybody. The lawsuit alleges that the teacher even held down some kids so the others could tune them up.
Oh, no. She can't interfere.
When asked about the video, this is great. It's hilarious how some people think anyone in the world would believe this. He's a grown man. These are fifth grade kids. He said the video he was recording, I'm not quoting him directly, but he more or less is saying he was recording these fights to have proof of the lack of discipline in these children's lives. They were so out of control. There was nothing, he says, he could do to interfere. So he just recorded it so he'd have proof for his own, court case. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
I can't come up with the words, but it's...
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Idiots, they fell for that one.
Yeah.
You can't control some kids.
Right. I'm a grown man. I can't control 25 fifth graders, so he just laid back and recorded it just so there's proof of how out of control these kids are.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do. There's no other adults here or anything that could step in. It's just me.
I'm all alone in this classroom. There's nobody else. All right, by God, we've reached our time limit here. We got to get moving along.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Why haven't you made many public appearances over the past year?
Because I don't like the media. It's funny, I own 2 TV stations in Los Angeles, 5 radio stations in Los Angeles, and I've never once been on any radio or any TV. I don't like the media. I avoid media for many reasons.
Let me translate that a little bit. I don't think anybody should take that personally. I think he doesn't like being a public person.
Yeah, that's the owner of the Arizona Coyotes there. Says he doesn't like the media. Fair enough there, big shot.
Yeah, it seems like he's not making a lot of friends.
Oh, and I bet I could take a wild guess why this guy doesn't like the media. Just a wild guess.
Yeah, there's a couple, there's some low-hanging fruit there.
But congrats, dude. You were relevant there for about 10 minutes or so. He does a little press conference. This is a guy, he owns the Arizona Coyotes, but he's selling it to, who cares? That's the thing, is other than a handful of people that work in that guy's office, nobody cares that the Arizona Coyotes are moving to Utah. No effing buddy. So, whatever. You can like and dislike whatever you want there, fella. Twins aren't cutting it.
No.
And I'm starting to wonder if something's going to give way here before too long. Someone's going to lose their gig or something like that. Twins lose 6-1 to the Tigers yesterday at Target Field. The Tigers took 2 out of 3 in the series. They start a home series up tonight against the Chicago White Sox. NHL playoffs and NBA playoffs. We got plenty of games to talk about here in about a half hour when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder duck in. Timberwolves, of course, had a great game on Saturday. They don't get going again until tomorrow night. This is interesting. Got a couple of messages on this, couple of text messages on this. Tim McGraw did a show here in town a night or two ago, and he held up a Nas Reed towel.
Pretty cool.
Well, he was up on stage. I've been to a Tim McGraw concert, Cubby.
Does he perform a pretty good show?
Oh, I didn't really pay much attention, but I was at a Tim McGraw concert.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of years ago. I'll tell you what, Cubby, it was probably, how old am I now? This was over 25 years ago.
Over 25 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Like a Wii Fest or something like that?
No, it was I'll tell you about it some other time. 3 Timberwolves were named finalists for NBA end-of-season awards. We'll tell you about that when the other boys jump in. Josh's News is coming up next.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Our house is a mess. Come on in. I'm Amber Wallen, internet comedian and host of your new favorite podcast, Fly on the Wall.
Okay, that's pretty presumptuous to assume that this is going to be their favorite podcast, by the way.
Anyway, that wasp that you just heard interrupt me is my husband.
And co-host, Benjamin Wallen.
Listen in as we discuss relationships and keeping our sweet baby kid alive.
Fly on the Wallen, wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Two members of a Florida family were accused of covering up the death of a relative who'd been accidentally shot by another of their relatives, a 2-year-old. Bernard Carter III was initially reported to have been shot before entering a family's apartment. But according to a Thursday press release, police later learned a toddler living at the home had access to an unsecured handgun on the day of the shooting and shot Carter.
Son of a bitch.
Really must have pissed that kid off.
Yeah.
Both the victim's mom and brother knew about the shooting, but chose to cover it up and misled investigators for weeks. An 8-year-old who was present the night of the shooting gave officials at first a coached version of the events that night, claiming Carter had been shot by a man in a mask, but later admitted he'd been shot in his bedroom while the 2-year-old was in the room with him.
A 2-year-old? The cops actually interrogated a 2-year-old.
No, they talked to an 8-year-old who told the story.
Oh, an 8-year,
Yeah.
but still, that's kind of shocking.
Who are you working with, 2-year-old?
Just a single hanging light bulb in the room.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell did they cover it up for? Because it was clearly an accident, right?
I guess maybe they're afraid of, getting busted like they did. Well, they're obviously in more trouble for lying about it, but that this kid had access to that weapon. Sucks.
Jesus, how friggin' selfish and twisted can you be?
That's very sad.
Good Lord.
Speaking of twisted, and thank you for the segue.
Twisted Sister concert coming to town?
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Aren't they going to reunite for one more tour? I heard a rumor the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to wait on that one, Cubby.
A 10-year-old Texas boy being questioned for threatening to kill a classmate told investigators out of nowhere that he killed a man for no reason 2 years ago and had so far gotten away with it. The shocking development in the unsolved 2022 murder of 32-year-old Brandon O'Quinn Raspberry began with a school bus dispute between the 10-year-old and another student earlier this month. School officials contacted authorities the next day, though, not just to talk about the threat to kill the classmate, but that the kid admitted to killing a guy.
Get the hell out of here. That's terrible.
School officials said the child made a statement he shot and killed a man 2 years ago. He described every chilling detail of the cold-blooded murder he carried out when he was just 7 years old.
You gotta be boning me.
Key details that hadn't been revealed to the public in a case that had left authorities stumped for more than 2 years. The investigation revealed the boy had been visiting his grandfather, who lived at a same RV park as the victim, and he noticed the man walking around the lot. On the night of the murder, the child said he took a 9mm pistol from the glove box of his grandfather's truck and then crept into Raspberry's RV. He stated he observed Brandon sleeping in bed, approached, shot him for no reason, and then returned the gun to the glove box of his grandpa's truck.
We have failed, Josh. As a society, we have failed.
According to investigators, the boy had no clear motive for the deranged crime. He admitted he'd never met his victim, didn't even know his name. Police asked if he was mad at Brandon for some reason, or if maybe Brandon had ever done anything to him to make him mad, and the child stated no. Because Texas law states a child can't be responsible for a crime until they're 10, the boy can't be charged with that crime. However, the kid has been booked for the terroristic threats against his classmate.
Dude, that is buck-ass wild right there.
So scary.
I just can't even...
7 years old.
2 years the kid hung on to this. to this secret, and finally he let her buck.
Yeah.
That's actually really impressive for a kid that age to keep that secret for that long.
I'm just going to take a guess that this kid's upbringing has been an absolute disaster from the word go.
I'm sure.
That's a safe
good
bet.
guess.
I mean, you never can tell. And I'm actually somewhat contradicting myself a little bit because at times I get burned out on parents always taking the blame for a kid turning out to be a derelict pile of garbage. Because and the reason why I reacted that way for many years is because I had 2 or 3 friends growing up who ended up being derelict piles of garbage whose parents were good people. You know, it can happen that way as well. But I'm just guessing that this kid.
It's more than likely that's
more than likely.
A Nashville teacher threatened to pull a gun on another teacher and preschool students. About 11 a.m. Thursday, officers with the Rapid School Safety Team were dispatched to a report of a teacher who'd made threats toward a colleague and students.
It sounds like a group that you would join, Josh, if you were in Rapid City, the Rapid City Safety Team. Right?
Yeah, as long as the rapid doesn't mean I got to get there quick, because I don't move as fast as I used to, that's for sure. 11 a.m. Thursday, this is when that happened. When officers arrived, they were met with an employee in the parking lot who said the school had been placed on lockdown. I just remembered. I was a part of the safety team in this building when we had one.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You heard there was a safety team?
There was, believe it or not.
I'll tell you, I had no idea there was a safety team in this building. What did that involve?
That must mean the safety team did their job then if you were never aware that you needed to be safe because they were doing a good job.
I suppose. Tell me about this.
We'd have meetings and discuss possible safety issues in the building.
No, you did not.
Yeah, we did.
When the hell was this?
Oh, shoot. I want to say this had to have been like 15 years ago.
Safety issues in the building?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, just like
hot coffee being spilled on an intern?
To get out of the building if we need to, ways we could be doing things better. Unfortunately, we had held a meeting, and this was my idea, in a freshly mopped on a freshly mopped floor. We all slipped and we all got concussions, and then we never had a meeting again. I landed in a delivery of razor blades that I had ordered for really no reason.
So the safety team, it failed terribly.
We disbanded.
I was going to ask if you left the team or if you could disband it. So you guys just broke up?
Yeah, we did.
Was it emotional?
That is fascinating, Josh. I've never heard you talk about that. And how dorky can you get?
Who, me?
No, I mean, I have to lump you in since you were a member of the safety team. Just how dorky of an idea can you get?
You don't remember? I got a letter and I wore the letter jacket around here that's at the time Citadel on it when we were owned by Citadel.
So did this really happen?
Yeah.
There was a safety team in the building that would meet and talk about safety issues at a radio station.
That's correct.
Did you ever discuss how not to spill hot coffee on a 9th grade intern?
No.
Okay.
That's happened?
No, I'm just saying that might have been.
Gotcha. Because I've heard stories. There was somebody that spilled hot cocoa on a control board, and that was a big deal.
Oh, I'm sure.
You are the most interesting guy ever. You just are.
Do you mean Minnesota interesting or outside of Minnesota interesting?
It doesn't matter where you are.
You mean Minnesota interesting.
It doesn't matter where you are. You're interesting. I mean, you've been a Target retail security guy.
Asset protection when I was on the force.
You have been a what's the gimmick where you were like a pretend cop? What do they call that?
I wasn't a pretend cop. I was a part of the Citizens Academy.
Citizens Academy.
Graduated with honors. Go ahead.
The safety board at a radio station.
Committee, but keep going.
Dude. It's so interesting.
Here's a guy that can't say no.
I guess you could look at it that
asked,
way.
I just can't say no.
Do you think about getting the band back together? The safety team?
None of them work here anymore.
Oh, they're all gone now?
They were all fired for cause. It's true. None of them do work here anymore.
Never heard that before.
Shaneka Cowart is her name, the teacher who made the threat. She was taken.
I lost what we were talking about because I went so crazy on you there.
She basically threatened a coworker or coworkers and some preschool students.
She did.
She was going to shoot.
This was a teacher. A teacher?
Yes.
She threatened the students. Okay.
This is in Nashville.
Copy.
She was taken into custody after the 29-year-old threatened to shoot up the preschool, and she warned everyone that she does keep a gun. One teacher stated she overheard Cowart saying things like, "When I start shooting, you better run."
And she's saying she's barking these threats at kids who yesterday learned about dinosaurs.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
Some of them still peeing in their pants.
Right.
She initially denied the claim, but later admitted she told the teacher she was going to shoot them in the kneecaps because it wouldn't kill them. She also denied having a gun on her, but police later found a gun on her. In fact, they found two, one in her purse and another in her car.
What a character.
Yeah, we would frown upon that in the safety committee.
See, delivery driver Jesus was able to say it better than I was. I feel as if maybe I was slightly insulting you when I said you are just the most interesting sumbitch of all time. And I hope you didn't take it that way.
No.
Good. I wasn't able to put it the way delivery driver Jesus just put it when she texted in here. She just says, "Josh, you are so precious, don't ever change." Because these stories are so great. I mean, what was it, a couple weeks ago? We found out you're doing ride-alongs with a snowplow guy. I mean, you just do stuff.
You know, if it did bother me, which it did, and I know you well enough to know, I could talk about this in the Wellness Club, which meets every Wednesday at 2 p.m. And we talk about things like this.
You're making that up. I know that.
Because we don't want this to be a toxic work environment.
Oh!
Or a TWE, we call it.
No,
in the
we do
Wellness
not
Club.
want any toxicity in the workplace. That's so unbelievable what goes on around here.
Now, this one is interesting.
The others
in a Minnesota way and otherwise. A premier L.A. County teaching hospital had to fire one of its highest-ranking doctors following a 2-year investigation which found he regularly gawked at the genitalia of knocked-out patients.
He did. He was like a pecker checker.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was male genitalia.
He just liked to give it a good look-see and size it up.
Oh, even more than that.
So to speak. Okay.
No. I alluded to the fact he was touching that. I don't know that that's the case. Staff members at Harbor UCLA Medical Center told investigators Dr. Louis Kwong sometimes looked under the surgical covers of males who were under anesthesia and then discussed the genitals of the day. They had a little fun genital of the day segment.
Frankenbeans of the day.
Do they post a Polaroid in the break room?
They just get very descriptive. Kwong also discussed his favorite sex positions and his preference for autoerotic asphyxiation.
You don't talk about that.
Even if, I think we're very open about our sex lives.
Sure.
Here. If I did that, I would not bring that up.
Just keep that one to yourself.
Yeah, that one's just for me.
Yep.
I'm a veteran of the old hang and whack. Anybody else?
I deprived myself of oxygen while masturbating. It was really something else. It was interesting. Additionally, investigators found Kwong, an orthopedic surgeon, received more than $700,000 from a medical device company without reporting the conflict of interest. His discharge notes that apparently he had a locker room atmosphere at work where Kwong and some of his staff were fixated on the genitalia of patients. Male genitalia were shown at an annual end-of-the-year roast where it was commented certain female residents might like it on top. Another doctor heard Kwong discuss whether a patient was a grower or a shower. I'm neither. And a physician assistant said that Kwong joked about looking at genitalia of patients while they slept.
This guy's just unable to turn it off. You know what I mean? He's one of those I'm inappropriate guys, and he doesn't know when to turn it off.
Yeah, he's the funniest guy in the room.
By the way, Josh, earlier we were talking about all the different groups he's been involved with, the safety team and the crossing guard, and you've been involved in everything over your life. And you said, you're a guy that can't say no. Listeners have been texted in saying you got that trait from your mother.
Interesting comment. Interesting, you bastards.
And what is this Minnesota interesting? Is this a new slang term that I'm not...
Oh, no, it's like a passive-aggressive, like if someone says, hey, I painted my house purple and pink yesterday, and you think it's ridiculous, you might go, oh, that's interesting.
Okay, yeah. I got it.
Yeah,
it's a passive-aggressive comment, which we are known for around here.
Yeah, that's kind of our thing.
Also, Josh, Lake Street Handshake Jesus has a request.
What's that?
He says, can you save some chicks for the rest of us, bro?
Absolutely. That would be nice if you'd save some ass for the rest of us. You know, you're a guy now. See, I'm sorry to keep, but I am. I'm so drawn to Josh and his personality and his different quirks and whatnot. You're a guy now that thrives on inactivity.
I do love inactivity.
And do you think that that's because you were overactive for so many years? My God, you were doing every damn thing. You were going to...
It's possible.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
You kind of burned yourself out.
Yeah, I don't like having more than one out-of-work thing to do a week. That's about it. Like, I have to put together some furniture today. That's it for the week. After that, I'm done.
You were overactive.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Were you hyperactive as a child?
No, I was never hyperactive. I was sexually active for a short time.
Well, it was, if I remember right, it was just a few months before you married your wife.
That's right.
Yeah. You were really bumping.
She made me an honest woman. She really did.
I think I was hyperactive as a child.
Were you really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe ask my mother. I think that I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Diagnosed with a little touch of that.
I used to get in trouble for talking in class all the time, to the point where I had one teacher I'm pretty sure hated my guts. I just couldn't keep my mouth shut.
One of my buddies came over to the house on Saturday to watch the Timberwolves game, and he was complaining about how his youngest daughter never shuts up.
They can get going sometimes.
She just never shuts it, he says. It's just all day long.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Sometimes a story takes a very, very long time because there's distractions, like maybe a car drives by or something they got to start all over. And sometimes they get in the middle of a story and forget why they were telling the story. That's fun.
Way.
People can get that way.
Yeah,
My boyfriend yells at me. He's like, "All right, just get to it. I don't need all these side details." And then I'm like, "All right, fine. You know what? You don't get to hear the story at all, then."
You shut him out, huh?
Yep.
Good Samaritans and at least one state worker helped rescue a driver from a burning vehicle on Interstate 94 in St. Paul last week.
That was a hell of a deal.
Yeah. Did you post this, Ashley?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Video of the incident making the rounds on social media shows several motorists and a State Department of Transportation worker stop on the shoulder of the highway Thursday night. They ran to a burning Honda and attempted to open the vehicle's doors to save the driver.
I don't know if you can notice in the video, but I pull up and I run the other way.
Oh, was that you?
I'm running far away.
Yeah.
But others were there. That was a wildly dramatic video.
It was.
Lucky to
Very
be alive.
brave. I mean, the car, there's like a flash right underneath the vehicle. Everybody kind of backs off, and they go right back to it.
They got that sumbitch out of there in the nick of time.
Oh, he just barely escaped death.
That would have been a horrible way to go.
The SUV had drifted off the road to the right, struck a light pole, then a guardrail, catching fire near the Snelling exit about 6:30 p.m. A Minnesota Department of Transportation worker broke the burning SUV's window, which allowed a group to pull the driver out feet first. The driver was taken to Regions for evaluation. Thankfully, though, no injuries were reported. I can't believe nobody got hurt.
No one took any shrapnel to the eye or a fender to the teeth or anything? That's crazy.
Well, at least according to the Channel 9 story, there was...
Guy didn't get burned up too bad or at all?
Sounds like he was completely fine. If you watch the video, it's incredible nobody got hurt.
Yeah, as backwards and horrible, absolutely terrible, unspeakably horrible, terrible as we have all become as a society. We're terrible. Admit it. Everyone admit that we're terrible.
I'm pretty Some people are terrible.
Pretty bad.
All of us. That video will make you think that maybe there's a few good people out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but they robbed him blind.
Oh, no. I knew it.
It was a carjacking.
I friggin' knew it.
It was a car. That's why the one guy had the fire extinguisher.
I take back everything I said.
Yeah, it's very sad.
God dang it. I'm alive, and I'm not burned. Where's my phone and wallet?
All of my possessions are gone. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, a.k.a. Negan on The Walking Dead, 58 today.
Guy's creepy.
Jack Nicholson, 87.
Wow. Get the hell right out of here.
Congratulations to CF Feed Hauling Jesus, Ben and Jordan. They completed their firefighter schooling over the weekend. And CF Feed Hauling Jesus also celebrated 5 years clean on Saturday. Nice work.
Well done.
Best of luck to Needs a New Jesus named Jesus on his new job today. And happy birthday to my brother-in-law, Brian, and my chesty wife as well. Happy
What?
birthday.
Your wife's birthday today?
Today's her birthday.
And she is large up there.
She's got a...
You want to put any money down on how things sound when we try to get Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver on the air?
Oh, boy.
Oh, I think it's going to be just fine.
I got $5 that says total disaster.
You think so?
As long as we try our best to have fun, that's all that
think at
matters.
the very... Sorry, Dana. I had trouble hearing you. What'd you say?
As long as we try our best and have fun, that's all that matters.
That is very well said. And that's kind of what we said in the safety committee. But there might be a tiny bit of adjustment in the beginning, but I think we'll figure it out.
Total disaster.
Let's hope not. That's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver
on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
If I'm not mistaken, he made 4 or 5 straight buckets like it was nothing. And I became a fan at one point. I was out there like, damn, he nice. Like, it's nothing we could do. It's nothing we can do. Cat was playing great defense. Rudy was playing great defense. And it's just like, he don't see you. Like, I'm looking at his stat sheet. He was 11 for 17. He missed 6 shots and had 31. He's the greatest to ever do it, man. My hat tilts to him. He's the best.
Back and forth with Kevin Durant there in the third quarter. How fun is that, and what do you make of the atmosphere tonight?
I think everybody here knows that's my favorite player of all time, so that was probably one of the best feelings ever in my whole life.
Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, please tell me that they are with us.
With you.
Oh, so far so good.
Somebody turn that friggin' music
Poppy,
down.
You got to turn her down there, pal.
Hello.
It's like I'm at a damn acid rock bar or something like that.
Can you hear me?
We got you, Randy Shaver.
Hello, can you hear me? I just got piped up just a second ago.
We're broadcasting from a new location for the very first time this morning. A whole new studio and soundboard and all that. So tell us, Randy and Brad, how do we sound?
You sound younger.
You sound something.
Not you, Dana. Everybody else sounds younger.
Yeah, a little bit of a fountain of youth here.
I didn't know they could put that kind of effect on your voice.
I didn't know I could sound younger.
That's great. I can hear the both of you just fine. How does Josh sound in particular? Because he's broadcasting from home.
I'm not broadcasting from
They
home.
set Josh up at home, made the rest of us drive into work.
This is making me think that you guys can't see. Am I a ghost? Can you see me? Dana, look at me.
I think I deserve it.
I can actually hear Josh from his house, not through the phone.
Oh, yeah, you're an Egan. I just touched some gum.
I'm happy for Josh. I'm happy for Josh that he got to stay home and broadcast from his own bedroom. So, nice to have you boys with us here on this wonderful Monday morning. Not a bad start for the Timberwolves, huh?
No, great start.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Brad, you must have been pissed.
No, we get over this, man. No, I'm happy for them. That was a good start. That was exactly what they needed. They went inside a little bit early to Carl, like we talked about. They needed to get him established, and they played really well, especially the third quarter.
Now, I don't know about the rest of you, because I know a lot of you don't watch the Timberwolves for jack squat. We were joking around earlier. Josh said so far this season he's got maybe 1 or 2 quarters under his belt.
And those happened on Saturday.
I know that Dana, Ashley, Wapo, you guys don't watch the Timber. I do every single game, and I saw more intensity out of that team.
Yes.
More intensity than I have maybe ever seen. They were absolutely racing around to play defense.
Right.
Yes, I know it's the playoffs and the intensity always picks up, but it was very noticeable.
Those were my thoughts as well, Nick, after watching.
You had never seen anything like that all season long?
No, it was the best 2 quarters of basketball I've seen from them.
Take it from Josh. I guess my question is, can they keep that up?
Well, sure. The answer to that is yes, they can.
Game after game.
Whether they actually do that or not, we will see tomorrow night. I mean, tomorrow night is just as important of a game as Saturday was for the Timberwolves, I think. I mean, they need to win both games at home.
I mean, Phoenix is going to make a lot of adjustments between the loss on Saturday and before they tip off on Tuesday night. So you can't expect Phoenix to play the same way or come out and do the same things that they did on Saturday.
Right.
But I will say that watching Anthony Edwards in the third quarter, it's as close to superstar status as, I mean, you can be a great player in the regular season. You can be an all-star. But this is where legends are made. The playoffs are where you not only raise your team, but you raise your status as a player. And Anthony Edwards did that on Saturday, starting pretty much from the get-go, but third quarter for sure. took over that ball game. And I think he has raised that level to a point where, if he can continue to be that kind of player, I mean, obviously we've got ourselves an amazing player.
I think Saturday was about seeing the ability and the potential that we could see for the next month and a half or two in the playoffs. And Tuesday is about the maturity. Okay, are they going to come back with that type of effort again and make the readjustments to what Phoenix is going to do, or are we going to see a team that maybe steps off the gas pedal a little bit? Because we've seen that before, and if they do, Phoenix will go home with the split. So I think Tuesday will be really interesting from that perspective. Are we going to see the same type of team, same type of intensity, or are we going to see a team that maybe rests on that game a little bit and then go home with the split?
Right. You guys are both right. I know these are young guys, but man, can they keep their legs under them for a whole series playing with this kind of intensity? And Randy Shaver, friggin' everything you said about Anthony Edwards is true. And this was a hell of a deal because, coming into this series, he had struggled against Phoenix. They had contained him.
Right.
So, wow, that was fun. And most everyone loved watching the back and forth with Edwards and Kevin Durant. That was what everyone's been talking about. He had a great time.
Don't be surprised if Durant comes out and plays a hell of a game on Tuesday because of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also say that we talked about Phoenix's depth and the veterans that they have coming off their bench. Without a doubt, the Wolves bench played way better.
Oh, yeah.
In this game, and that was another reason why they were able to not just win this game, but blow Phoenix off the floor.
Right.
In the basketball game. When you've got guys like Naz Reid playing the way he is right now, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker was absolutely tremendous in this game. Mm-hmm. So you've got all these pieces that the Wolves have. They've got so many ways to beat you if what Brad says is true. If they can be mature enough in game 2 to play the same way, or I would argue play even better, because I think that's what it's going to take in game 2. Phoenix is going to be extremely pissed off, and they're going to come in and play really hard, and the Wolves can match that. There's no doubt. I don't have any question the Wolves can win the series.
Mm-hmm.
But can they meet the challenge on Tuesday, knowing that this series is going back to Phoenix for 2 more games, and you don't want to leave here with a split?
It was a hell of a lot of fun. 2-0. Sure was a hell of a lot of fun on Saturday afternoon.
Yes, it was. It was great.
Now, so
Remind
we'll...
you of 2003.
Reminded you of 2003?
Yeah.
Yeah. That crowd was mental.
Yeah.
Loved it. So we'll talk about tomorrow night's game tomorrow morning. See what we think. 3 Timberwolves have been named finalists for NBA end-of-season awards, and they're probably the 3 that you would expect. Rudy Gobert is up for what could be his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award. He's got to beat out, how do you say it again, Wembanyama? And Bam Adebayo for that award. Come on, give it to Gobert. And a lot of folks probably leaning towards the rookie because they can't stop swinging from his jock. But
yeah, I don't think
give
he's
it to Rudy.
Okay,
I don't
good.
Think he's Chris Finch is up for Coach of the Year.
Yes.
He's got to beat out the Oklahoma City coach, Mark Dang, whatever the hell.
Yeah,
and the Orlando.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
And Orlando's had a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering all the strife and problems they've had in Orlando, I think they finished, the 5 seed, something like that this year. So
just those 3? It's only 3 finalists?
Yeah, I think they only named the final 3. Right?
That's what I have in front of me, Brad Ryder.
I would have put J.B. Bickerstaff in that 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland kind of tailed off at the end, though. Mitchell got hurt. They kind of stumbled down the stretch. Oklahoma City ended up the number 1 seed. I mean, you can't argue, right?
No, I would have put Oklahoma City in there, Finch and Bickerstaff.
I hear you say it. I hate to say it, but I think the OKC coach probably gets it.
Yeah, probably when you get the number 1 friggin' seed. I just got a text message here that says, it sounds like Josh is losing interest in the Wolves discussion. Josh, do you want to join this listener's physics club? He says here, we talk about physics, the properties of physics.
I'm in. I know nothing of physics, but I'll be there.
What movie? Breakfast Club. We were joking around with Josh earlier. He was telling us about some of these different activities he was involved in years ago. I never knew this was a thing. Josh was, give us the name of the group. This is a real thing. He says this is a real thing, and it happened here at the radio station. The radio station had a group called what?
The Safety Committee.
The Safety Committee.
I was a part of the Safety Committee.
And you would
we had a whole dance. I forget what we called it.
Safety dance.
That's what it was. The safety dance.
You wore hats, men with hats.
You were in the safety dance?
Yeah, I sure was.
I think the slogan was, you can dance if you want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can leave your friends behind.
Your friends behind, because if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Yeah, it was. You had to buy a T-shirt one size bigger to fit that all on there. But yes.
Oh my God.
And he would go to safety committee. Again, this is not a construction site. This is a radio station. But yet there were safety meetings to discuss how we can keep from falling down in the hallway.
Well, it was started by a coworker of mine, a beloved coworker who I love dearly, and also made the father of my son. He got a wicked paper cut, and I said, we got to do something about this. You remember the paper cut that almost killed you?
Dude, I used to get some bad ones, but there was one where I lost a lot of blood. I lost consciousness for a while because of a paper cut. I did not know that was the spark that created the...
That's where I said, we got to do something. And remember, I gave you mouth to mouth. There was a paramedic there. He said, you don't need to do that. And I said, shut up. I'm in the middle of something.
Going for it.
Yeah.
Josh, like other regular safety meetings that they have on like construction sites and all that, did you guys stretch beforehand?
Do they really do that?
Yeah.
The other
Oh, yeah, they do group stretches.
Well, we stretched the truth of the importance of the safety committee. That didn't last too long.
Fascinating stuff.
I think we had 3 meetings and that was it.
So I should tell this physics club guy that you may be interested?
Yeah, if we could meet on Fridays, that'd be preferable.
The final Timberwolf running for an NBA end of season award, of course, is Naz Reid in the mix for the 6th man of the year. He's going up against Bobby Portis and Malik Monk.
Well, Portis has had a great year, no doubt. But the Wolves are one of the best teams in basketball, and Naz Reid has a big part of that. So I think Naz Reid should win.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I've heard this before. Strength coach Jesus texted in talking about how he and the other hockey parents have safety meetings before their kids' games, and that's code for drinking at the neighborhood bar.
Oh, nice.
My buddies who still have kids playing hockey, they talk up and down about the safety meeting. Always is about 2 to 4 hours before the hockey game. All right, NBA playoff. Otherwise, yesterday, Boston beat Miami quite handily. The LA Clippers just handed Dallas their ass.
Dallas did not look good.
That threw me a little bit. The end result was maybe a 12, 13-point differential, but at one point, the Clippers led that game by 30-some points.
Yeah. I mean, if Doncic and Irving are not playing lights out, that Dallas team is super vulnerable. So, and they played without Kawhi, by the way. The Clippers won that game without Kawhi.
He's never healthy.
He's healthy. He played a lot this year, but missed the first game.
I love it when Doncic fails. He gets that little baby bitch look on his face. Go Clippers. Milwaukee beat Indiana. Oklahoma City beat New Orleans. But New Orleans was...
Barely.
Yeah, New Orleans was...
They're going to put up a fight.
Yeah, they were right there. Tonight, Orlando at Cleveland with the Cavaliers up 1-0 to none. 76ers at the Knickerbockers with New York up 1-0 to none. And the Lakers at Denver with the Nuggets leading that series. They won how many games in a row against the Lakers?
Not a lot of surprises this weekend.
No.
Not really any surprises this weekend.
Yep. No shocks.
Well, I think it's fair to say that I was surprised by the Wolves.
Yeah, I was too.
I wasn't surprised. Not game one. Not game one.
They needed game one.
Well, we all know that, but I was surprised at how easily. Well, not easily, but how they handled.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I missed the MVP finalists in the NBA are Jokic, Doncic,
Jokic will win.
and Gilgeous-Alexander combo.
Jokic will win. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, Jokic will win.
Yep.
What do you like better, Josh, the Gilgeous or the Alexander?
The Alexander.
You like the
Yeah.
Alexander? Yeah,
name's
Jokic
Alex.
is unbelievable. He is. Well, all right. Gotta calm down from all that NBA talk, man. It was a fun weekend. I'll dummy it. I'll bring it down. I'll bring down the good times. The Twins. Oof.
Jesus.
They just can't right now.
No.
They're just not able.
It's maybe, at least at this point in the season, maybe they just aren't as good as we think they are. I think that's probably a fair assessment right now.
Well, you got to factor in the injuries, right?
Sure, but
You got to.
I would also say, even when they've got a vast majority of their starting guys on the field, they strike out too much. They don't score any runs. I think they've scored less than 4 runs every game this year, but 1.
I think you're right.
And their pitching is, Louis Varland yesterday was bad.
Yeah,
it's
he
just,
was.
It's just bad.
And he's been bad every start this year.
Yeah.
You got to factor in the injuries, Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa, and some of the pitchers who are missing. But they aren't able right now, and they lost to the Tigers 6-1. And why isn't Rocco starting Sonny Gray?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus, we got Sonny Gray right
what's
there.
What's going on with Sonny Gray? Why is he not pitching?
Why is he not getting any starts?
There's an article in the Star Tribune about.
Yeah, you better do that for people out there that are going, well, wait a minute, he's not on the team.
There's an article in the Star Tribune talking about how they've had the upper level of Target Field closed to start the season because of the cold weather and getting people down. They might not need to open that upper level this season.
They're taking a page out of the Timberwolves book by blocking off sections.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing that.
You see Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, I'm starting to wonder if something's going to give way here. Someone might lose their gig. Is that?
Well, they got a team batting average right now. I'm looking it up of 195.
Is that good?
That's not good. No.
Only the White Sox are worse,
Not
right?
good, yeah.
Is it too soon to fear that someone might lose their gig? It's never too soon in the world of sports, right?
Probably not a month from now if this continues.
All right, you're giving it another month?
Which
if
is
things don't change?
Which is why I think you saw Rocco, his statement yesterday, something to the effect of, we've got to make some changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's no more we're going to fight our way through it. It's we think we're going to need to make some changes.
Mm-hmm. Louis Varland maybe going to find himself in the bullpen?
Or in Triple
Or in St. Paul.
Come crawling back to Ashley.
If we were still together, he'd be throwing nothing but strikes.
Well, that's the problem. He's throwing nothing but strikes. They're hitting them all
Right
over.
down the middle.
Yeah, that's true.
He'd get a lot of home runs, I think, with Ashley.
Hey, what was that great line by Harry Carey? If it really ever happened. Hey, look at that couple. That happy couple in the bleachers. He's... I'm going to get this right in my head. He's kissing her on the strikes, and
Yes.
she's kissing him on the balls. So next up, we got a 4-game home series with the supposedly awful Chicago White Sox starting tonight at 6:40.
You talked about a team that needs to win 3 out of 4. Oh, my gosh. At least.
They're so bad. They're so bad.
The White Sox are that bad.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty cool.
Combined,
And
I'd
I
say a
say
combined 10 and 31 record, these two teams.
Yeah, and I say that hoping that the Twins can find a way to, win the majority of the games against them too.
That's why I just let that comment hang, so I could pounce on you tomorrow if it.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool video coming out of San Francisco. You know how the hippies get in their little kayaks and they roam around McCovey Cove there beyond the right field wall at the Giants. Patrick Bailey is a member of the San Francisco Giants. He hit a dong yesterday and landed directly in the lap of some lady in a kayak.
Oh man!
Perfect shot.
She didn't have to move. It landed right in her lap. That was pretty cool. You ever seen the dude who goes out there with a couple of dogs?
I did.
Yes, dog will retrieve a ball.
Yeah, I think I have seen that.
And then when the ball hits the water, he goes, "Go get it, Donnie!" And the dog jumps in. And, Sometimes the hippies will beat the dog up with kayak paddles and try to get the baseball. But Donnie's tough. Donnie the dog. 2 high school baseball teams in Texas played a 23-inning ball game that had to be rolled over into a 2-day event. 23-inning baseball game.
If I was a pitcher in that game, I think probably at the 13th inning, I might just hung one, let him have a walk-off.
Just go home.
I'm sure a pitcher did not go 13.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if I was a relief pitcher and, late in the game,
Brad could do it.
Get out of here.
Heck yeah,
Yep.
Brad could do it.
Brad could have thrown 13 when he was in.
I got a couple innings left in me.
So it was Midland against Odessa. That's how they said it in that movie. What was that movie? Where
Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, they kept saying Odessa. Odessa.
Booby mines.
Midland defeated Odessa 4-3. It was 2 innings shy of the record for the longest high school baseball game of all time. 2 innings
Texas
shy.
or nationally?
America, all time.
In America.
In America. Odessa. It was the longest game in Texas high school history, 23 innings. So they played 13 innings on Friday before play was suspended. I'm guessing maybe they don't have any lights. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they played 10 more the next day. The entire game lasted 25 and a half hours. Man, I would hate to be one of those kids' parents. Jesus criminy. I got to sit here for 25. Hockey. NHL playoffs yesterday. What happened? Florida beat Tampa Bay. New York Rangers over Washington. Vancouver over Nashville. Winnipeg and Colorado. Final score of that game was Jet 7, Zach 6.
Ooh.
They not playing a lot of defense.
No.
Game 1 of that series. 7-6. Tonight, Toronto and Boston with the Bruins up. Islanders, Carolina. The Canes are up. Las Vegas, Dallas is a game 1, and so is LA and Edmonton. So they're just getting started. Just getting started, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder.
I have a hard time watching game 1s of any of these series, hockey or basketball. I watch the Timberwolves, obviously, but
well, because you know there's so much yet to come. Yeah.
I can't sit down and do that.
Well, you know how we
yet to come in just that series.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, when the Wolves aren't in the playoffs, I don't really get too mental about the NBA playoffs until they get into the semifinals. Opening round can lose me. Same with hockey. The opening round can lose me pretty easily.
Yeah, Brad needs more intense sporting events like JV high school.
Yeah, exactly. High school softball.
You know, I was a little bit of an ESPN geek when I was young. Well, younger. I really enjoyed Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann together. In the early 90s.
The Big Show.
They had a great thing going. And then NFL Primetime. I back when I was a big football fan, I never missed NFL Primetime. So I got dialed into ESPN pretty good. I'd say specifically in the early 90s. Then I kind of moved on. But I really liked the show Stump the Schwab.
The show was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it amazing, but it was a enjoyable. What makes you want to dump the word amazing on that show?
I love sports. I love trivia, so it was kind of a perfect match for me as a kid.
I was sorry to learn that the Schwab checked out.
Yep.
Howie Schwab died Saturday at the age of 63. 26 years at ESPN. He was a researcher. He was a statistician. And then eventually they put him on television in 2000+4 with a show called Stump the Schwab. And by damn, contestants had to beat him in a sports trivia contest. And not many did. I always thought that maybe I could hold my own on that program. Really did. So, the guy, he checked out. Dick Vitale and some other ESPN personalities got on, social media and paid tribute to the guy. I don't really know what the hell happened. I just read that he'd been in poor health recently. But that was a fun show to watch. And the dude was good.
I think you saw things. I read they did 60 episodes. He won 53 of them, so he's 53-7 career.
F me running.
Impressive.
Maybe you can find on the internet, maybe you can find some questions from Stump the Schwab, and we can try to answer them while we got everybody on the line. Someone get on their Naked Lady Machine. Find some questions from Stump the Schwab. Does anyone remember what the prize was if you beat the guy? It probably was a pretty big prize because he was so unbeatable.
Yeah.
Was it $100,000? Was it $1 million? Did you get tickets to did you get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would come to your, what?
It looks like it was a cash jackpot that started at 9,000.
So
Someone built up.
Yeah.
9,000.
Well, back then that was a lot of money.
Holler at me if you can find some Schwab
Yeah,
skis.
I'm looking them up.
Randy and Brad, you see that video from the NASCAR race where the girls were getting naked?
Yep.
You did?
No, I did not.
You guys are such pervs.
You're missing out, Brad.
I'm going to have to take a look.
It's on Twitter.
Ashley sent us some naked video. And it... No.
No, I am not.
He just found the video, maybe.
I haven't found it yet.
Oh! Obviously to me, at least it is obvious to me, some strippers got tickets to the NASCAR race. And they were dancing around. Not during the race. This was, I think, afterwards in a campground or something. The girls are naked. Well, they're topless at least. This is what Ashley sent. A video's going around Twitter of girls dancing and flashing their boobs at a NASCAR race. They are all solid 10s.
Easily. Oh, my God.
Yeah, they were pros. And everyone online now wants to get into NASCAR. Ha ha, she says.
Yeah, people were on Twitter saying, like, okay, now I understand why my buddies get so excited to go watch NASCAR. I didn't know it was like this.
Yeah, that's something. And that finish from Talladega yesterday was mental. Anyone see it?
I did not.
No.
Oh, wow. Massive crash at the very last second. I'm surprised you weren't watching, Wapple. Tyler Reddick snuck his way through a terrible crash to win the race right at the finish line, basically. You should see that video. Christ, there was one car up on its lid, kind of going half sideways, backwards. We were all watching it at the beer hall. Of course, it's Talladega. I walked in with about 30 laps to go, and everyone at the bar is saying, well, where's the big one, right? Where's the big Talladega? Where's the big? It happened at the very last second. The co-owner of Tyler Reddick's race team is that relentless prick, Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They got a lot of camera shots of Mike Jordan after the race. Jordan co-owns that race team with Isaiah Thomas. I'm kidding, of course.
I think he...
they hate each other.
Isn't it with Kevin Harvick?
I have no idea. Oh, no, Denny Hamlin, I think.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Mike was at the race. Yeah, you ought to see that crash. You ought to see that friggin' crash. All right, what else is going on around here? Got some football stuff here. Wrap it up with some football stuff. According to a former NFL junior varsity quarterback by the name of Chase Daniel, a guy who is now apparently an NFL Network analyst, he says the Vikings are, quote, in love with a top quarterback prospect. You guys want to guess who
Drake
Chase...
May.
Huh?
Drake May.
That's right, Randy Shea.
Yeah.
That is former junior varsity NFL quarterback Chase Daniel.
Would you like a lame claim to fame regarding Chase Daniel?
Here we go.
I once saw him at Margaritaville in Las Vegas.
Get a grip on yourself, Danny.
I recognized the guy if he was standing next to me.
It's funny, we were talking with Stump the Schwab. I had a buddy who has a photographic memory when it comes to random athletes. He could pick out, like, oh, yeah, that guy's on the practice squad of the Vikings, you know. So he pointed out, I'm like, he goes, that's Chase Daniel. He just got drafted. I'm like, oh, all right. That's a good-looking lady he's with. Good for him.
That is the lamest claim to fame we've heard on this program.
It has to be up there for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, what do you think about that, boys?
I'm not saying he's not going to be great, but they played the Gophers last fall, remember? And
no, I do not.
Yeah, they played him.
Yeah, and
yeah.
He looked good, but not like, oh my gosh, good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He threw a couple picks, I think.
Reviews on the guy.
Mixed reviews. Okay.
I mean, the Vikings have set themselves up with having picks, 11 and 23 or 24, to be able to package some things to move. It's going to cost them more than just picks this year. It probably will cost them some picks next year and down the road. I think you just have to sit here and weigh whether all of that is worth it. And to be honest with you, their jobs are on the line. If you move all the way up to 3 or 4 or whatever, and you take a quarterback and that doesn't work,
and mortgage your future a little bit by giving up other first-round picks.
That would be exciting.
With all the needs this team has, and they do have a lot. I mean, obviously, we know how important the quarterback position is. We all get it, but I mean, that's basically your entire coaching future and general manager future is on the line.
Hey, Josh, take a look into the other studio. Look at the people in the other studio.
Yep.
That's who we have mortgaged our future on.
Are there jobs on the line?
Dude. Yeah, okay, so the Drake May, this guy says.
It's all coming to a head on Thursday.
Oh, right. What a nightmare. Ringing your mom's doorbell, Jesus, has texted the program. He says he just looked at the NASCAR video of the strippers taking their clothes off at the NASCAR party. And he says he has just purchased tickets to something called Dover International Speedway for next week. He doesn't even know where he's going. All right, so let me ask you this now. So Dinkus that played JV football says the Vikings are in love with whoever Drake May is. Which quarterback in Vikings history was the most tragic love story, do you think? And what I mean by that is the Vikings clearly were in love with a quarterback. They weren't thinking, I hate to use the word clearly again, but they weren't thinking clearly like a lot of us when we're in love or in lust. And the crush that the Vikings had on a quarterback ended up breaking the Vikings' heart. Is the answer obviously Christian Ponder?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I think so. That's who I was going to say.
It's a clear number one.
Okay. They fell in love. They couldn't see straight.
Yep, they mortgaged. Well, wasn't so much that they fell. I think they just felt desperate. I think they felt like they needed to make a move for a quarterback and he was the supposed best choice at that time.
I saw him in Vegas once at Applebee's.
Did you?
Yeah. It was unbelievable. Yeah.
I'd be more starstruck if I saw his wife.
No kidding.
She looks nice.
Yeah, that's probably the easy answer. Chris Ponder. The Vikings just had.
Yep. They invested a lot.
Like in the cartoons, the little hearts were bubbling above their heads, and they weren't thinking clearly.
Another thing to keep in mind, this time of year, teams will throw out smoke a little bit. What I say by that is they'll throw out a name to, a couple of reporters here and there just to get them off the scent of who they really like.
Right.
That has happened in other sports that I've been around too.
No, you're right. You're right. They'll try to mislead folks and this and that.
I think just because there's 4 quarterbacks that, clearly is one level of quarterback play. And there's such a need for quarterback in the league. This is what makes Thursday night so intriguing because we already know that the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. That's over. After that, though, it gets to be like a free-for-all, how that's going to pan out with those quarterbacks. And then with teams trying to move up, move back, it's going to be a lot of fun.
By the way, listeners who know things are texting in about that the strippers at the NASCAR race, where it went down. A listener says that area is what they call Talladega Boulevard. It's similar to the zoo at Brainerd International Raceway.
Okay.
That text comes from deceptively girthy Jesus.
I want some elaboration on that.
And people are texting in, and what about when they fell in love with Brent? Well, but that worked.
But that worked.
It worked for 1 year, and that's what they were looking for. They were looking for, let's make one big push here to try to get into that, what do you call that big game again?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Yeah. Josh, do you have audio of this event that would for sure put me instantly to sleep? Where it was a church service that also featured dorky quarterback analysis?
I do. Yeah, I have that.
Okay, so it says here, last Thursday, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Conrad was given a speech on faith at St. Philip the Deacon Church in Plymouth. I know where that is. And he opened up the floor for questions, and some dude stepped up and asked a marathon question about drafting a quarterback. You want to talk about the ultimate sleeping pill for me? I'm at church, and they're talking dorky quarterback analysis. Sleeping pill. But that's what went down. Some guy stood up and wanted to get all quarterbacky with Kevin O'Conberg. It's right down the road from my place, that joint, Cubby.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends
You
were...
missed out.
I should have. Oh, God, I totally missed out. A lot of my friends were confirmed there, I think is the word. Is that the word?
Oh,
yes.
Yep.
And they became godless heathens right after that, I'll tell you that. They didn't really become very, very Christian. They didn't. All right, what the hell? What am I looking at here? We're about out of time, but I had one more here for you. If this matters at all to you, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead anyway. The NCAA has approved several NFL-style rule changes to be implemented for the 2024 college football season. They're going to add a 2-minute warning at the end of each half.
Yeah. It's their commercial breaks in.
Oh, you got to have that. We're on the verge of one here in a minute. They're going to add the ability for helmet communication from the sidelines and the ability for players to use tablets to watch films during games. So, in the old days, communication was, well, in the old days, as of last season, you'd see the players on the sidelines with big signs and hand signals and whatnot. That'll change. The 2-minute warning's kind of interesting, but you're right. Okay. Commercials. So at this point now, really the only difference between the NCAA and the NFL will be the one foot inbounds rule for catches. And what, Randy Shaver?
And
running clock.
And the day they play on. That's about the only
That's
difference.
about it, yeah.
What are they? They start running the clock after a first down.
Okay.
In college football.
All right.
The signal thing might have something to do with the whole Michigan situation.
That's what the story says, Brad Ryder.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do like the Patriots do and steal the signals.
Wire in.
Yeah, wire in.
The ability.
That'll be the next thing.
The ability for teams to utilize the helmet audio was a significant talking point following the sign-stealing scandal involving the University of Michigan cheating bastards that they are. Oh, and then, you know how in the NFL, you need to touch a guy when he falls down with the football? College, you still don't have, once the guy's down, he's down.
Yep.
But it's just, it's just going to be the same damn game here shortly enough. I don't know if that's going to bother anybody. Does that bother anybody?
No.
That's where everything's going.
You don't give a rat's ass. You just want to see the Wolves take a 2-0 lead tomorrow night. That's
It's basically the minor leagues for the NFL. That's really what it is. So, AAA.
I hear you. What else is going on? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I think you covered it all.
Josh, what's going on at home?
It's my wife's birthday today. Any suggestions? How should we
It's
celebrate?
your wife's birthday today. You're already at home. How about during this next commercial break, if you know what I mean?
Not at home.
I don't know why you want. Why do you want to?
You're
do
looking
this,
right at me.
This theater of the mind thing. It's okay if you're at home.
You're doing a theater of the mind.
You have deserved this for years to finally be able to broadcast from home. It's cool, dude. Brad, why are
we're having a conversation here, Brad?
Brad found the video.
A lot of people keep texting us how to find that video.
I think, aren't we allowed to put on our website where you can find it?
A link to
Yeah.
it?
Oh, I don't think we can.
No,
link
you
to
can't link to it. But
Randy, where did you find the topless girls
I
at the
saw it on
NASCAR?
Twitter.
Oh!
So I can tell them exactly like what to Google.
I'm sorry, did you say Twitter? Twitter. Gotcha. Twitter.
Oh, I missed this. A listener named Simon texted in. There's one other difference between the NFL and college football. College football isn't scripted ahead of time. I forgot about that. Everyone, look for that video. It'll change you for the better. You'll have a great day.
I think I watched it like 25 times.
I watched it 26 times. Always one-upping you over here, Ashley.
Typical Nick.
Always one-upping. Oh, Josh, I think I just heard one of your dogs in the background.
Yeah, I got to let them out.
Yeah, let the dogs out.
I'm surprised you didn't hear mine. Mine was barking about 20 minutes ago.
I heard it. I could
Did
hear
you?
Yeah, I could hear him going.
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you not have anything planned for your wife's birthday today yet, Josh?
She's got to work all day and night, unfortunately.
Oh, so you're making dinner then?
What? No, that's,
You're gonna bring her
silly.
dinner to work.
I mean, the way she eats, it's all potions, and she's a necromancer. I couldn't cook for her. She wouldn't want me.
What Josh doesn't understand is that's actually her birthday present, to work all day and night.
Yeah, I think she did seem very happy about that. Yeah, I don't think she'll be home till after 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Step one is cut a hole in the box.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that should be her gift. Hey, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder, we will talk to you boys soon. Thank you for everything.
You bet.
All right.
We got to take a minute or two off, and then we'll come back with something or another
Dr.
next.
P, text in your questions.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Yeah, 651-989-9393 if there's something wrong with you.
Thank you. Too much going on around here.
Busy day.
And with
right.
you not being here.
I am here.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Josh. How about
man.
idiot? Dr. P. Jesus will be next. Send us your text messages. He'll straighten you out. Here we go. Let's take a break, Wapple.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
Kevin Millar, we're all paying rent in Ohtani's world, right?
And the Dodgers world, game is healthy, game is good. And, I get asked a lot, is that good for baseball? Yeah, it's good for baseball. This is definitely the team to beat because that should be your next question, Richie, is this World Series a bust for the Dodgers and Dave Roberts?
Hell yeah. Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
Checking in here, 8:27 on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. Our next guest is very impressed by our new studio location, but he is as lost as the rest of us in trying to get into these new digs. Text in if you need some advice on a health problem that's troubling you, 651-989-9393. Welcome to our new spot, Dr. P. Jesus. It wasn't too difficult finding the joint?
No, can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I've never had the control over my own microphone, and I feel, I sound echoey too.
Well, you have control over the volume in your headphones.
Oh, let me adjust that.
Yes.
You can turn on and off your mic.
Yeah, you can turn it on and off, skis.
If I sound terrible, I'll turn it off.
Maybe we could just let you sit here and just kind of play with the equipment all day long.
I could try to fill in this whole segment if you want.
I know you dig being around all the equipment, don't you?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I know you like this kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you.
It's nice to have you in.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, I love seeing all you guys. It's a little sad that Josh is working from home today.
I know.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I am
wish I
just
could see
working
him.
from home.
We miss the guy.
I know.
But it's great to be able to hear you, Josh.
What do you think?
I mean, you sound great for.
It's almost like
you're
you're
working
here.
from home.
Yeah, it's a lot like I'm here. Like it's almost exactly like I'm here.
It'd be nice if you were, though.
Dr. P, what do you think, though? You're sitting with me and Nick instead of the other guys.
I mean, this is more like a TV studio, radio studio, or TV show radio studio. Big space, way bigger than it needs to be, right? And
Well, yeah, maybe we could put some cameras up here, working cameras, and turn it into an internet thing or something. But yeah, it's a big space. We're just getting used to it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I think maybe by tomorrow, maybe we'll sound even better. So there you go. Dr. P is here, 651-989-9393. If you have any questions for this bitch.
Dr. P, maybe, hopefully you be comfortable with this. Jiu-Jitsu Jesus, he texted in and wants to know if you can tell us maybe an awkward moment with a patient and what made it awkward. Is there a story that you can think of, or maybe you can come back to it?
Yeah, no, I can think of one.
No way you're going to top some of Josh's awkward doctor
no,
stories.
that's true.
Yeah,
I know
that's in the business.
if I had seen Josh as a patient back in the day, it would be good. I would have
Could
some
you
great
look
stories.
at his pecker for him? You guys have become...
I'd be like the last person in town to do it, but
that's a good point.
Everyone else has seen it already.
There's a woman that I saw for a bunch of years, and I would see her for physicals. And as part of a physical, you do a breast exam, and she had this tattoo on her breast that you wouldn't normally see.
On them or between them?
I think it was like sort of, halfway down one of the breasts.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't remember whether it was her name or her boyfriend's name, but I made a comment the first time I saw it, like, haha, And then a year or two later, apparently I said the same comment. She's like, yeah, that's what you said last time. I was just like, my shtick was just like,
yeah,
it's been a year. She was hoping for fresh material, Dr.
Yeah,
B.
and it's like, I didn't remember saying anything about it.
Was she weirded out at all that you read it? I mean, you're looking at her nude and she's aware of it.
Yeah, I don't.
And this was in a professional capacity, I hope?
It was, yes.
I do have a question. What is the longevity of germs on gum? Because for the second time, I've touched some chewed bubblegum under the board here.
You're going to die soon.
Yeah. Friggin' grade school bit. Someone stuck some gum underneath the soundboard.
Yeah, and it's still kind of tacky.
Oh. So do you think your son did it since you're at home? Or is it maybe your wife?
That's right. If it's warm, it's probably dangerous. If it's not warm, I think you're
probably okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about some questions from the brother and sisterhood? 320 Jesus is checked in. He's going on 8 days of abdominal discomfort below his sternum. Friday was especially painful.
God dang.
Saw a doctor, said it's gastro something or another. And he says, and take Tums. I'm sorry, I can't read. How long do I deal with this before being looked at again?
8 days, pain below the sternum, so which your breastbone basically.
That's a hell of a run. 8 damn days.
And I would assume he was told he had gastritis, which is basically just inflammation of the stomach.
I had that once, and it was brutal.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's a pretty non-specific term. I mean, there's the difference between gastritis, which is sort of the whole lining of the stomach is irritated, versus ulcer, where you have an actual erosion through the protective lining of the stomach, and really the focal point.
I was actually kind of embarrassed with mine because I was in pain for like 4 days. I couldn't sleep. It was awful. I was a kid. I mean, we're a teenager, and so my mom called the doctor, and the doctor's like, you got to get him in. His appendix burst with the descriptions. And I go in, they're like, no, it's just gastritis. I went to the emergency room for this.
You really had to fart.
I guess. That's what the doctor said. She's pushing on my tummy. She's like, you just got to pass gas.
You just fart this one out, buddy.
Oh, God.
I'm like, oh, no.
I've been at the doctor for that like multiple times.
Gastritis?
Yeah, and every single time they're like, it's your appendix. And then they're like, nah, your stomach is just like all irritated.
Yeah.
I don't know how you folks dealt with it multiple times. I had it once.
I just had it once.
It was. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was in so much friggin' pain.
Yeah, the only thing that would ever help is being in the fetal position constantly, or getting like a hot shower. Other than that, there's really nothing.
I went to the hospital immediately. I did not try to.
Lay in the shower.
There was no shower. I mean, I could barely walk. Pouring sweat. You've never seen sweat. At any rate, did you ever answer that individual's question?
I don't think I did. No.
Okay,
so
go
he's
ahead.
had it for 8 days. I'm a little surprised they would have only suggested Tums. I mean, that's a very first line kind of thing for any kind of heartburn or gastritis. Usually, if we're really worried about acid irritation in the stomach, you would have somebody use something like Prilosec, which used to be a prescription medication. It and the other ones like it.
Bless you.
Bless you.
I heard that from home. I'm in the same studio I'm in with you.
And I even turned my mic off.
So there's medications that are more effective at kind of shutting down the acid and taking that for a couple weeks, and then things settling down. So that's usually what I would suggest. there's always concern when you point to your chest area and say you're having persistent pain. We worry about heart issues. Probably it's not that. But yeah, if there would be some concern about an ulcer if things are not improving, and the only way you can really demonstrate that is to look down into the stomach with an endoscopy. So if things are not settling down with some medication, again, I would say probably trying some over-the-counter Prilosec. Then you need to follow up.
Okay, fair enough.
Dr. P, one of the best things that they gave me, I'm sure you know what this is a GI cocktail.
Yep.
Those make you feel so good so fast.
Yeah, it's a combination of like Maalox, which is an anti-acid, anti-nausea medicine. Put a little bit of viscous lidocaine in it, so a numbing medication, and then I think it's also liquid Benadryl. And you slug that down, and it kind of just coats your esophagus and stomach. And it can give some instant relief. It's a little bit of like a rough diagnostic tool, because if you do that and you feel better, you're pretty sure it's not hard, it's not your appendix, it's not your gallbladder, because all it does is coat the esophagus and stomach. But you can't really keep taking that
We
stuff.
must have had different versions of a gastritis, because they weren't looking for a long game with me. They instantly made me vomit all over myself.
Oh.
They gave me something to empty my effing stomach.
I wonder if it's something different. I mean, if you're there from like if you have acute alcohol poisoning or something, or if you
Maybe they thought I had alcohol.
they made you vomit. Yeah.
Oh, man, it was horrible. Dr. P. Jesus is in studio answering health questions. And here's something, Dr. P. Someone texted in all the way from Pennsylvania.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is maybe the longest distance you've ever tried to.
I'm not licensed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you?
No.
This is Robot Rhino Jesus. I've never had an issue before, but lately I've been experiencing a severe urgency to urinate. I'm 35. Is my prostate going already, or is this from too much smashing in my younger years? The guy would crush ass, he says back. 35, and he's always got to take a squeege.
So severe urgency, yeah. I mean, urgency is that sense that you've got to go, and the worse it is, you feel like you've really got to go, or you're going to have an accident. In men, I would say the number one thing is usually prostate. Again, other than sexually transmitted. Just because gonorrhea, chlamydia, it could give you that same sensation. So depending on how he was approaching the smashing and how protective he was with that,
right,
he could have carried chlamydia for a long time. Gonorrhea is usually not subtle enough to have for a prolonged period.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I just got to bring it up.
Well, you brought
a little
it up.
confession there.
Yeah, you guys have to know every time.
Every time you get it. Nice.
Yep.
So gonorrhea is not very subtle. But yeah, if it sneaks up on you and, there hasn't been any discharge, you haven't recently been sexually active with new partners, prostate stuff could start being a problem in younger guys. I mean, classically, it's more prostatitis, especially where it's a bacterial infection, likely more often in later years, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. But I've seen it in younger men. So it's something that is good to get looked at, because if it smolders and then gets worse and worse, I mean, you can actually get quite sick from prostatitis. It's probably more commonly just annoying, but I have seen people hospitalized for prostatitis, rarely. So yeah, if it's a change, it's good to get that examined.
All right.
Men don't typically get urinary tract infections, but can. That's really because the urethra is much longer in men, or at least most men.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Who were you looking at when you said that?
I was looking at Josh.
Why would you look at?
He's not here though.
I'm right here.
I can't believe you looked over at Josh when talking about urethra length.
Do all doctors use this GOC? I had two, and I had asked the doctor, I'm like, well, how the heck do I get this? By the way, it was an untoward affair. Not like I'm cheating on someone, but just, some sexual congress. He had, I asked him, how do I get this? And he said, it's one of those GOC things. God only knows. And I was wondering if that's like a doctor joke that everyone says? Or,
nah, maybe it's a urologist joke.
Maybe that's
not a family medicine joke. What was the... Oh,
was
sorry.
wondering about the urgency of-
men don't typically get urinary tract infections just because we have a longer urethra, so it's harder for bacteria to make their way up into your bladder, whereas women have a very short urethra,
Oh, darn
which
it.
is why they're more likely to get urinary tract infections.
Oh,
But
I just admitted I have a short urethra. Mouse and Jesus wants to know how to deal with restless leg syndrome, but for the whole body he's having.
Oh,
It's been happening
Talking about the whole body.
all day, every day for the last 3 weeks. Stretches and exercises aren't helping.
Well,
and
that's a
sleeping is
seizure.
difficult.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, I mean, let's see. We'll start with restless leg syndrome. That's where classically when you're trying to go to sleep, you feel like you need to move your feet because
I get that every once in a while.
it's not necessarily that you're having pain in your feet. Sometimes people are, but it's more, I need to move my feet or they're going to feel uncomfortable. And it interferes with sleep. And that can be a problem starting at various ages. There's an interesting correlation with that and being anemic. So like having a low red blood cell count, which is something we think of when people come in with that. Actually, only once in my career, a woman had that, and she was a little bit older. She ended up having colon cancer. She was anemic because of that, and that was what was causing her restless leg syndrome. Very unusual. but
Really?
It's just something to keep in mind.
I'm restless legging right now.
Yeah, so that's...
Cubby, are you restless legging?
I do bounce a lot.
And
Is
I
that
feel like that's a little different. I think just that sort of restless, energy thing when you're trying to, when ideally you would be sitting still. I mean, maybe it's peripherally related, but I don't think it's quite the same because it's not uncomfortable.
Okay.
That's the thing. Restless leg is like I need to do this.
You need
because,
to, or you're uncomfortable.
So he's talking about restless leg of the whole body. It's interesting. After I had my knee replacements, I had sort of an experience like that, and I don't know whether it was because of the pain of the knee replacement, whether it was because of the anesthesia, whether it was because of the pain medications. Who knows? But I had a lot of trouble sleeping with a similar thing. But I had a big surgery and it was healing. So if you don't have anything that's going on, I mean, that's definitely not restless leg syndrome. Your whole body, and he said, what? He said he was.
It's whole body.
You say he was sweating? Or
I didn't catch the sweating, or if I read that, I don't remember that.
Okay, but whole body. Yeah, so something else is going on. I'm not sure. That would definitely be one to get in, talk to somebody.
I used to, when I was a kid, I would bounce while watching television.
It sounds like you got like a touch of ADHD.
I know, don't I? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, like self-soothing kind of.
I would bounce up and down on the damn what do you call that thing? The couch. It was a terrible thing. I got over that. That's really interesting. What's going on with that person?
Yeah, so it's not restless leg syndrome.
Okay.
If it's your whole body, and I mean, I'm thinking of like vitamin deficiencies. If he just started an antidepressant, or if he went off of an antidepressant,
I mean, your
sometimes
arms,
you can have,
legs, your head, everything's moving.
Sounds miserable.
Yeah, that's something
Maybe he's
more profound.
IVing energy drinks or something.
It's worth getting an appointment and talk to somebody.
Our next question moves on down to the testicles. Excellent. It's from Groob Cakes. Groob Cakes has texted in to talk to Dr. P. After this one, we got to take a break. I have a small ball of fluid on my testicle. Doctor said it's probably not cancer, but didn't narrow down what it was. I'm getting an ultrasound this week. Any ideas? A small ball of fluid on my nut. What the hell is that, Josh?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think
probably a hydrocele. So there's varicocele, which is the I hate to say it every time because I know if anyone's eating breakfast, they're going to. The bag of worms in the scrotum is the varicocele. A hydrocele is really a fluid-filled thing down in the scrotum. It can be adjacent to the testicle.
Yeah, that's far less gross.
Yeah, it's a remnant of it's a remnant of actually how the testicles get out of the body in a fetus who's growing in the womb. Because testicles start off in the abdomen. However this works, they migrate out through the abdominal wall and
they fall down,
drop into the scrotum, which is pretty insane when you think about it. But there's sort of this layer of tissue that has to advance through the abdominal wall, the testicles follow, and then that's supposed to kind of pull back.
Much more entertaining ball drop than what we see in New York City.
It is.
Boy, I don't
It
know
is.
if you've watched
And
it in
honestly,
a while.
Yeah, way
3, 2,
way more
1.
technical.
And they both fall down into the bag.
But so it's basically a little bit of like abdominal fluid down in there.
Okay.
And it's usually pretty harmless if it's quite large and it's painful, or if it's getting in the way of function, then it can be surgical.
You put a needle in there?
No, you got to go in because you got to get rid of that tissue that's collecting it. If you put a needle in it, it just sounds nasty.
Yeah, cut it out.
And it'll fill up again. Yeah, you got to
Cut it off. Is there any way you can just kick it off? Like have someone kick it off?
Hit it with the Bible, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not right off.
You could. You could. If you're really strapped for cash, and sure.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. Thank you for listening. You're the damn best. We're here with Dr. P. Jesus in studio. He's a busy guy fielding some health questions, quite a few health questions from our damn listening audience. What do we have now? Dr. P. Jesus, listener says, I've got hemorrhoids way up in my colon.
Oh.
They bleed a lot.
Oh.
They give me intestinal pain skis. Is there any way to treat this without too much violation?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, hemorrhoids, so there's internal hemorrhoids and external hemorrhoids, and that just depends on where they are, kind of along the lining between the colon has a certain lining, and then as you move out towards the skin, that's the external part.
I'll be damned.
The internal ones don't have sensation, so you really shouldn't have pain from internal hemorrhoids. You can certainly have bleeding.
Do you have a favorite kind of hemorrhoid?
I mean, I think if you're going to go with one, go for the internal, because even if they're bleeding, they don't hurt.
Okay.
External, because it's essentially the skin getting stretched and irritated. They
can
hurt,
be tough.
They hurt, they itch, they can also bleed. And they get in the way of cleansing yourself, I guess. So that's a little weird.
What are you laughing at?
It just sounds so awful.
You're next.
I know.
No.
You're going to get him
sit a
next.
lot, yeah.
I have to be so delicate with my words sometimes, because I don't want to scare anyone off from talking to their doctor.
Understandable.
So internal hemorrhoids you shouldn't have. I mean, basically neither should give you abdominal pain. So that makes me wonder, is there something else going on?
He says they're funny looking too.
I mean, they're never cute.
No.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're for internal hemorrhoids, we use an anoscope. Another cool word.
Yeah.
Urine anoscope.
Oh.
What about urine and what? Anoscope? No, but it's a very small little device that lets us kind of look right inside. It's clear plastic. And yeah, they do look funky.
A buddy of mine got mad at a hemorrhoid the other day and took it out on this hemorrhoid, and it didn't work out so well.
My God.
He went at it with something sharp, or?
No, he went at it with he was very pinchy with it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was mad at it. He said he got furious with it. He was having a bad day and decided you're going away, and went for it, and things didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I bet
No.
he just made it so much worse.
He did.
Oh, poor
Yeah,
guy.
So
you
you-
sure could.
I'd imagine that's not doctor recommended.
No. I mean, so internal hemorrhoids, they can be treated a number of ways. I mean, the classic way they're treated is called rubber band ligation.
Oh, I had that. Now, if you do go get that, it didn't hurt or anything that I
Right.
remember. But what I wish the doctor would have told me before he walked out was that you feel like an emergency poop is coming on.
Oh.
Where I thought I was in so much trouble, like I was going to go right there on the floor.
It
And he
ended
came
up-
back in. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to feel like you have to crap." I'm like, "Okay, I've been there."
Did the treatment eventually work for you?
I don't think so because they didn't go away.
Yeah.
What did your friend pinch his hemorrhoids with? Like a damn set of tongs or what?
No, a thumb
Chopsticks.
and forefinger.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did it by hand, manually.
Yeah.
So I would assume that has to be an external hemorrhoid, basically, because you can't generally get to the other ones. And those, you can get a thrombosed hemorrhoid, which is when an external hemorrhoid gets, instead of just having a dilated vein, it's a dilated vein with clot in it. And that can get large, inflamed, and
Yikes.
people can't sit. And sometimes those, it's not terribly uncommon for people to come into the office, and we do need to essentially either just make an incision and drain it, or really excise that whole thing.
God help us all.
Yeah. So this for I can't remember the name, but If they're having abdominal pain, there's something else going on. So that's why I would be concerned about diverticulitis or Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. I mean, something funny. So they need to get checked out.
I can't imagine being so mad that I attack my own hemorrhoid, knowing the repercussions of such a thing.
Yeah, he was having a bad day, and that was just the final straw.
I was going to say it probably got worse after that.
I went back when I had hemorrhoids real bad, I couldn't even allow anyone to blow on them. You know what I mean?
Dude, did you have offers?
Yeah, well, that's why the joke worked. Yeah. That sounds terrible.
This text says, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 3 months. Whenever we have sex, 3 months and they're already having sex.
Jeez, what happened?
Well, they're married. Maybe they got married.
Well, they said boyfriend.
Oh, would it make you feel better if they were married?
Whenever we have sex right before, during, or after my period, he gets a slight rash on his shaft.
Oh, he's allergic to you.
Is this a sign of an STD or just an allergic reaction?
He's got to find a new girlfriend. He's allergic to the one he's got.
Sex. Okay, so sex right before, during, or after her period.
And again, only 3 months dating. But go ahead.
Right. I mean, my mother would be horrified too. That's an interesting one. I mean, I guess I'm just trying to think what would be. I mean, there are sometimes an incompatibility with body fluids, I guess, or pH or something, where somebody will get irritation, but I don't know what would change with the menstrual cycle that would.
Yeah, I've never had that happen. That's weird, and I'd be more concerned about like what I had going on versus what you had going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
suddenly you think that you're poison.
Yeah.
You know, oh my God, I know a girl once who got so mad at her period.
What'd she do? Oh no, tell me about it. What did you do?
So I think absolutely you want to get checked out. I mean, they're having sex and they're not married, so they probably have an STD. Kidding.
That's just God punishing you.
Right, but no, they it would be good to be checked because I just it's hard to believe there's something really. And actually, if it's before, during, and after your period, isn't that all the time?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, and so they've only been dating 3 months. So is it maybe it's just a coincidence?
Yeah, it might be. So no, and I'm sorry, I'm not. Because this new studio is making me crazy.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah,
it is.
It
takes a little getting used to.
It does. It's like we're doing stand-up comedy. Oh, there's no one here. But it would be good to get checked out. I mean, with a new sexual partner, that's sort of a good idea anyway, to get a clean baseline for each other. Again, I can't think of anything offhand unless there's something with. Well, I mean, presumably she's not using. Usually you wouldn't have sex if you have a tampon in.
No, you cannot. That's
you shouldn't. So whether there's something with products she's using or something, but you got to rule it. You got to rule out the things that need to be treated with antibiotics.
I can just hear the boyfriend right now shouting to her, "Hey, Dr. P says it's your fault."
That's definitely not the conclusion.
No. I tested it with your brother. This is all you.
Oh,
your brother was fine. He didn't have any.
Maybe he's just sensitive.
Hole Digger Jesus texted, and we got to get going here real quick, but I thought maybe we'd try one more. Hole Digger Jesus says, I got a question. I shower every single day, but I still get pimples on my chest. How do I cure that? I know a girl once who had 2 of them. They were perfectly spaced apart.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He says, I get pimples on my chest. How do I cure this?
I remember that girl, like when it was cold out, they were very defined.
You should have helped her out and helped her pop them.
Oh.
What the hell does that mean?
We're just having a mature conversation, and you got to get gross.
Pop them?
That's nasty. How old did he say how old he was?
104. No, he didn't say.
I don't. It is weird how I'm a grown man and I still get weird pimples.
Sure.
I think it's a skin type thing. If you have maybe sort of a combination of some of your skin being quite dry, some of it being oily, and it's usually oilier where you have chest hair and stuff like that. I mean, he probably could use some sort of an acne wash, is what I would say. Go down the acne aisle at your local. Kind of place you buy that. Yeah, it's a local brothel.
Your acne store?
At your drugstore, there you go.
Sure.
Using something like that hopefully would help, because it's typically a combination of body oil and some bacteria.
Okay.
That causes it.
You and the ninth graders will be in that aisle battling for the Clearasil.
Exactly.
I'd imagine this would be I know we're running out of time. Actually, we're overtime here. Underwhelmingly optimistic Jesus just has a question. Having a physical this week. He's 45. Is the doctor going to, quote, check the oil?
They give it 5 more years these days, don't they, Dr.
No, they went the other way.
They did?
Yeah. So now you're supposed to get a colonoscopy starting at 45.
Well, you assume.
Oh, I missed that.
Is that what he meant, or did he mean a prostate exam?
I think he means a prostate exam.
Okay.
Well, that's what I was talking about. What were you talking about?
Colonoscopy or prostate, they're going to
same thing, basically.
I think they moved them both.
They're both evolving, and so certainly the colonoscopy, you have to talk about family history and what you want. But yeah, a lot of the recommendations are to start that earlier. Prostate remains more controversial, I would say. It's some doctors may just say this is what we're doing. I think my approach has always been, let's talk about what the options are, which includes having a prostate exam, doing a PSA blood test. We can do that every year. We can do that in several years, but there's pros and cons to every approach. And so it's really just having an informed discussion about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was given the option last time. They said, we're doing one or the other. Which do you want? I did the blood test.
Yeah, and so it really is, it's confusing with that in medicine these days. Ideally, you probably do both if you want the most information, because the blood test gives you one bit of information, the exam gives you another bit, and you can correlate them. Neither is perfect, and even together they're not perfect, but it's more information than nothing. So
my doctor looked relieved when I chose the blood test.
We try not to let that expression.
He must have thought you looked. Maybe he thought you looked dirty.
Yeah, well, I had one doctor that's like, he didn't give me the choice, and he's like, don't worry. And he held up his hand. He's like, look, small hands, and then he said it's going to be worse for him than it was for me.
This is fitting that we've ended with this conversation because we've come to the ass end of the program.
We really have.
We got to wrap her smooth up, but Dr. P, thanks for coming in. I hope you enjoyed our new studio.
Congrats on the new space, and hopefully Josh will be here next time. That'd be great.
I hope to be here.
Get used to it, because you'll be back in a couple of weeks, and you can have that same chair.
Rune.
Dr. P. Jesus every couple of weeks here on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Thanks, James.
Bye-bye.
See you, pal. Happy birthday to Lamb Jam Jesus. And on a personal note, I want to wish both my wife and brother-in-law happy birthdays today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.